Going live, we're live. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Shop Talk, brought to you by Black Cat Comics in rockin Milpitas. Shop online at black-cat-comics.com. I am your host, Mark Causey. This is my co-host,
Francie.
Don't call her a sidekick.
Never.
We are here to keep you connected to the comic book community, help you have some fun with comics in your time of quarantine, in your time of new comic hiatus. Welcome back. It's an interactive show, so feel free to throw your questions, comments, concerns, and quandaries at us, and we'll do our best to solve your dilemmas. Today we're going to talk about Free Comic Book Day. Yay! Today is the first Saturday of May, which for the last almost 20 years has been Free Comic Book Day. We've participated in almost 18 of them. In fact, we have done 18 of them. This would have been our 19th Free Comic Day. So we wanted to share some Free Comic Day stories from the past, talk a little bit about the event and what's going to be happening with it this year and in the future and all those kind of things.
Yes.
But before we get to that, let's talk some comic industry news. Like every week, there's been a lot of going on in previous weeks. I don't want to get all into it because it's so fluid and it kind of changes, but tentatively May 20th is the new release date for new comics. Wednesday, May 20th will be the day that folks can get going with their new titles again.
That's only like 3 weeks away.
About 3 weeks away. Marvel will get started the following week, May 27th. So we have a date. We have a time to look forward to with all our new favorite titles. So that's awesome. Your new comics are coming. They're right around the corner. Now, as far as all the technicalities, a little of that is still up in the air. We have
no idea what that means for us.
We have no idea what that means for us because we're still technically in a shelter in place. You guys are in a shelter in place. We're technically closed because we're still non-essential and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Britt.
Hi, Britt.
But we will resume curbside, right?
Yeah, so we think that the restrictions will loosen up a bit. So we're hopeful that we can bring back curbside pickups for the May 20th new release date. So TBD on that, but that worked out pretty good for us. So we'll set up the online appointments again. So hopefully we'll be able to bring that back.
And one way or another, all the new stuff will go right up online.
Yes.
So we'll be certainly able to pack and ship everybody's orders, pack and ship your subscription stuff, whatever you buy online, what have you. So you will be able to get your new books May 20th. We're not exactly sure if we'll be handing them to you or shipping them to you or leaving them on a table outside.
We won't be handing them.
But they are coming. They're on the way. So for the most part, that's the industry news. For those wondering, we will not be participating in the and DC has their own distributor that they're going with, as well as with Diamond Comics. We're going to stick with Diamond Comics. So just in case you were wondering, there's some reprints, some other things rolling out sooner than that, but we'll have everything available on Wednesday, the 20th.
Yes. Do you want to talk about the Tuesday thing?
I suppose so.
Since I brought it up.
Since you brought it up, there's a lot of talk that going forward, DC Comics is going to be Tuesday release date, and because they do their thing through their own distributor, so they're saying that Tuesday will be their release date. But honestly, here in Rockin Milpitas, everything's going to stay on Wednesday because Wednesday is New Comic Book Day.
So you're going to have to use your Zatanna powers to read this.
Except on the YouTube thing, they can read it normal.
I don't know.
Right?
I think it's reversed for both.
All right. Well, yes. Use your special Zatanna powers.
What's up, Michael? So yeah, we're going to continue to have new release day be 1 day a week for all things DC, Marvel, Image, Dark Horse, and that day will remain Wednesdays. New
Comic Wednesday, just like it's always been,
right.
Because I like doing the video on Wednesday, and I'm not awesome enough to do it 2 days in a row. Maybe I am, who knows? But anyway, Wednesday is going to be that thing.
Yes.
So keep up with the newsletter, keep up with the Facebook page and these videos and all that good stuff. We always do our as best we can to keep you guys posted on any new info as it rolls out. So again, this is totally interactive. Plug those questions in. You got questions about new comics. You got questions about anything that's going on currently in the comics biz. Throw those things out there. Otherwise, and throughout, you can do that throughout. But we'll move on to today's topic, which is Free comic book day. Biddly, 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 biddly. Free
See my
comic book
shirt.
day.
Comic day.
Yeah, free comic book day. So really quick, I'll throw a brief explanation. Anybody can go to freecomicbookday.com and see how it all works. You can Google Free Comic Book Day. Most people know how Free Comic Book Day works.
It's in the name.
It's in the name, Free Comic Book Day. But generally speaking, super fast, all the different publishers produce a book for Free Comic Book Day. They produce that book. They let us buy it really, really cheap, and then we turn around and give it out to all of you guys. The comic could be any number of things. It could be new material, reprint material, old school material, something they're pitching for the next event. It's all dependent on the publisher. A prequel, a sequel, a flashback. It could be anything. But it is really a big part. Long live Joe Field. That's a great. I'm glad you reminded me. I should give that plug. Joe Field out at Flying Colors in Walnut Creek, Concord. I don't go that north. But yes, Joe Field at Flying Colors started Free Comic Book Day. It's been rolling for almost 20 years, and it's a great, great event. It's the biggest day in comics, the biggest day of the year. It is tons and tons of fun. It's a nationwide event, worldwide event, but we love it and we do the heck out of it. We carry tons of books from all the different publishers, try and give away as many comics to as many different people as we can. We're as bummed as you are that there's no Free Comic Book Day this year. That today is not Free Comic Book Day. We don't have a new date.
It's going to be in the fall sometime.
But we wanted to do a little show about it to honor Free Comic Book Day, to remember all the great Free Comic Book Days that we've had. And secondarily, Free Comic Book Day represents everything I've been talking about over the last few weeks, which is new to you comics. Right. Every Free Comic Book Day, you guys hear me talk about getting the Marvel guys to read the DC book, getting the Marvel and DC guys to pick up an indie book, all those things. All the things you've been hearing me talk about on these videos, I pitch about Free Comic Book Day because Free Comic Book Day is about new people. It's about the lapsed fans, as we call them, the current fans. It's a something for everybody kind of day. And I personally think every day in comics is a something for everybody kind of day.
That's right.
That's part of why we do this show. So that's what Free Comic Book Day is. And like I say, we've been doing them for a long time. A lot of you guys have helped out on Free Comic Day. A lot of you guys have volunteered to battle the crowds with us. We sincerely appreciate that. Some of our best people over the years.
Daniel and Michael.
And in doing so, we've accrued many great memories, lots of great fun times. And like I say, we wanted to share those with you. We want you guys to share them with us. Maybe you've had some fun Free Comic Days here. Maybe you've had some fun Free Comic Day experiences somewhere else. So that's what we're going to talk about.
And it's not just about the existing fan getting something new to read. It's about bringing new people into the industry as a whole as well. So Free Comic Book Day is supposed to reach out to your local communities to say, hey, you know what? They make comics still, and they're not all for kids, but they do make stuff for kids as well. Pick up something for yourself, pick up something for your kids, and enjoy.
Yeah, bring a friend, bring a family member.
It's about expanding the industry and the market. Yes,
and I really, really encourage my subscribers and my regulars to get somebody new into comics on that day, because you can't beat free. You don't have any better opportunity to get a friend or a family member or an enemy or a coworker into comics than you do on Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, Aaron, Joe Field was a really big help to us when we opened up our store. We talked to him about, you know, the ins and outs of retailing, and we still do. So we give a shout out to Joe as well. He's amazing.
Yeah, and to tag on that, you say Batman is my first addiction. He was a lot of people's first addiction. One of my first comics was Batman 301. This cool book, Jim Aparo, Batman's Got a Gun. It's really awesome.
So we've got some stories to share. What we'd love for you guys to do is think about some of your favorite memories. And we've got some giveaways today.
We've got prizes because it's Free Comic Book Day.
We can't do the whole show without giving stuff away for free.
That's right. I also have, I should say really quick, because you all know I love to show comics on these things. I brought a ginormous box of all the Free Comic Book Day books from over the years. Things like this guy that introduced us to Secret Empire.
It's a fine line between collecting and hoarding.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But that's kind of part of it. One of the fun things about Free Comic Book Day, as I just show you a few books, is that after a few years, you know, you've amassed this big box of books and you can go back and read some cool old Spawn, Witchblade, Savage Dragon, Invincible, original Image stuff from back in the day, or some Archies or some Disneys, and on and on and on and on it goes.
Do you guys still have all of your Free Comic Book Day books? Do you read them? Do you give them away? Do you toss them? Do you file them with your goodies? What do you do with them? Ooh, that's a good one. Show that one. Brave and Bold.
Brave and Bold, Superman and Batman.
Yeah, there's no line. That's right, Britt. No line here.
There's no line today. But it's fun. It's fun to go back through that stuff. You know, this box has tons of books from publishers that aren't around anymore, like CrossGen and Bongo and different guys like that. And it's fun to revisit a lot of that stuff too.
And it's a long box. He's got a long box.
Yes,
here.
It is a big old box. And I swear I could go through that box. I could use up this whole hour going book by book and telling you why that was a great year for Free Comic Book Day. There's great stuff every single year. Yeah,
except, was it last year that had the Catwoman? It was last year.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Well,
everyone heard my laments about that. So Free Comic Book Day is supposed to be, for the most part, all ages, and they're supposed to label it really big if it's not for all ages. And so DC's Ink label came out with a Catwoman story, and it was just a little tiny sample of their larger book. And in that little tiny sample, which was supposed to be for all ages, spoiler, a cat dies. A horrible dude murders a cat violently. And I was reading it, and I was bawling, and I was pissed, and I'm like, I am not giving this book out to Free Comic Book Day to kids that are like really happy and really excited. That book tore me up in 3 pages. I'm like, there's no way. That's 18 and over.
Yeah, well, and you know, I'm all for
I'm
all for content. I'm all for all kinds of storytelling. All for, but you know, think about the day. Think about the audience. This is Free Comic Day. It's supposed to be fun and exciting and happy and uplifting, and you can't have a kid crying on Free Comic Book Day.
I'm 45 and I was crying.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. But it's often, you know, I look forward to a lot of the stuff. 2 big things, and again, I say this in all these videos all the time. 2 things I personally look forward to is that the Marvel DC thing is usually some kind of teaser about what's going to be big next year. Whether, you know, the big event or the first appearance or the key title, whatever it is. And so it's always fun to see what the big deal is from Marvel and DC for the following year.
Yeah.
And for me personally, it's equally fun. I always look for something that I'm a publisher I'm totally not into right now. I'm totally not reading right now. I like digging deep on something from Oni Press or something from slave labor or whatever have you. Just, you know, because again, it's a great opportunity to expose yourself to something that you wouldn't normally pick up off the rack.
So Michael's got a good question about what's going to happen with all the Free Comic Day books. They're gone to the printer. They are still happening. They're not changing what the titles are. So the only question is when the new date for Free Comic Day will be. They're actually going to start shipping them to us little by little within the next couple of months. But we're not allowed to put them out until they have announced the new Free Comic Book Day. But as far as we know, the publishing of and the printing of what they had already solicited, it hasn't changed.
That is correct. We don't know what the date is, but like she said, the books are printed. They're coming to us at some point. It will happen this year, but we're not exactly sure when or exactly sure how.
That's right.
So I think we've explained what Free Comic Day is. Talked a little bit about what we do, how we do it.
Biggest, best day of the year for us.
It is our biggest, best day of the year.
We get 1,000. I have a little clicker, and we get just under 1,000 people coming through the doors every year. And we give out between 5,000 and 7,000 comics that day.
Thousands and thousands of free books, giant line out the door, around the corner.
And our back issue bins are 75% off, and we give people $1. So they can usually get another free comic with that $1 coupon.
Yep.
As well.
It's just ridiculous, and it's super awesome and a ton of fun.
And we also raise a lot of money and donations for the local Milpitas food pantry, which I asked her how she was doing this year since we weren't going to be able to contribute. And she's like, the community's been great, and they're overwhelmed with donations. So luckily they're doing great. But if you'd still like to contribute to your local food pantry, milpitasfoodpantry.com, I think, or .org, is the one that's just down the street here. I know the woman that runs it. She's super duper nice. The food comes in and it goes straight out to people who need it.
Right out the door to our
There's
local
no
community
middleman
folks.
or anything. The
There's
food
no
goes.
pricing. There's no swindles. It's just
no one gets turned away.
Right to the people that need it. They do great work.
Yeah, they do. She's awesome.
So yeah, we're happy to participate in that. We get local folks to come out and do their thing on Free Comic Day, so that's fun.
You rope in like a dozen of our best customers to volunteer that day to help us with security and line maintenance, and making sure not too many people are in the store at once, handing out free goodies. Yeah, it's a whole family affair.
It is. And then it's on both sides because there's always big families in line too. It sounds corny, but it's super true. It's one of my favorite days of the year because, again, I'm always talking up new readers, the all ages stuff. I'm always doing my best to reach out to the 8-year-old that I was. And Free Comic Day is a great opportunity to do that. There's always a kid who it's his first comic, it's his first free comic book day, and he's always super excited and loves getting his stuff. And I don't know, it's that part of it is always really, really fun for
little
me.
Girls too.
Yes.
So I'm gonna totally embarrass Danielle because she's like a teenager now, but this is one of our early free comic book days with Danielle, who's Marcus Slaughter's daughter. I think she's like 16 or 17 now. Isn't that cute? So we love seeing kids in costume on Free Comic Day. That's one of the best things ever.
Yeah, and big kids too.
So we do have, you can hold this one and I'll hold this one. So Jim and his buddy would come and dress up as Jedi folk. That was really cool. I couldn't find the picture of our buddy who is in the Flash costume, but he was Golden Age Flash.
Yes,
right?
We had Golden Age Flash here one year. That was awesome.
I've got Deathlock, I think, on the printer.
That was awesome too. Yeah, folks come dressed up. That was always fun.
Cosplay's good.
Big kids, little kids, the whole gamut. That's always really cool.
Yeah. So I've got a funny story to share.
Okay, I love funny stories.
So one of the first earliest Free Comic Book Days that we did, we've been doing them for 18 years now. Free Comic Day is old enough to vote.
Yes.
So before we had developed relationships with our customers, I roped in every member of my family to come and help us out. And so one year I had my dad monitor the table. So, making sure people were, not taking whole stacks with them and, doing what they're supposed to do. And so here's a picture of my dad. Chubbs is AKA Chubbs. We love Chubbs. Vernon Soito. And everyone thought he was a famous artist and writer. And so they would ask him to sign the Free Comic Book Day book. Yeah. And my dad, he is technically an artist. He's a painter. So he's like, sure. He just started signing everybody's books and stuff. And he loved it. He had a great time.
Yeah. And they loved it. Even when they knew, it's like, I'm not, I didn't draw this comic. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. Can you still sign my book? That was really awesome. He was a real trooper too. He helped us out a lot every single year.
He's great.
And that's not easy for anybody at any age.
No.
I had a similar experience with somebody asking for my autograph on one of those books one year, and that was really fun. And same thing, I told him, I'm like, yeah, I don't write or draw books. And they're like, yeah, but you're the guy in the video.
He's famous now.
All right, I'm the guy in the video.
People want to take selfies with him, get his autograph. Yeah, I remember that actually. That happened more than once.
It has.
Hey, comic book guy, you sign my stuff.
Yeah, that's good times.
You're so famous. How does it feel to be a celebrity, a local celebrity?
Rockin Milpitas. I'm known across 12 square miles.
My favorite is when we're in the Great Mall, and it's the Great Mall because it is great. And from 20 feet away, hey, comic book guy, what's up, dude? He loves it. So great.
I loved the news showed up that one year.
Yes, that was 2009, really cool. I think. We were just doing our thing. I get a call from KTVU, Channel 2 News, local Bay Area channel. And they're like, hey, are you guys doing anything for Free Comic Day? I'm like, are we? Come on down. I got a line of people. So they came, they brought their video cameras. They showed people lining up, getting comics, and they talked about Free Comic Book Day. It was awesome.
And one of the kids that was in the video and on the news that day went on to become one of our employees. So that was really fun too.
Right.
But it was just really cool because they're in Oakland, and we're of course not in Oakland. So of all the comic stores in the Bay Area, for them to come and find us was really great. And getting on TV's always fun.
Teresa, is that what you're OMGing for? That's my sister on there. Yep, we're making Chubbs famous. Chubbs,
Famous, sir.
More famous, sir. So I have. I don't know if I could tell a story. So let me back up a little bit. Free Comic Book Day is a lot of work for us. We love it, don't get me wrong. But we start end of January. We start planning. What are we going to order? What's it going to look like? What's our budget? You know, how many people? How are we going to start marketing, PR, all that stuff. So we start early on. And as the days get closer, we start, you know, really monitoring all of our inventory, cleaning the store, getting everything ready, getting the Free Comic Book Day books ready. We used to put packs together. We don't do that anymore because it's a lot of work. But there's a lot. You wouldn't think about it. You just think you just open your doors and put a bunch of comics out. There's loads and loads and loads and loads of work that we do. Primarily because it's a first opportunity for people to come in and see us for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Free Comic Day is usually people's introduction to comics, introduction to us, and introduction to the store. And so we want to put our best foot forward. We want to make sure, you know, our T's are crossed, our I's are dotted. There's no dust. Everything's stock. There's nothing, you know, nothing amiss in the store. We want it to look as perfect as we can. So we spend weeks and weeks. We clean it every day, but we spend an extra time making sure it looks perfect for Free Comic Book Day. Okay, having said that, we're getting ready one year. It's the night before, right? Was it night before? Yeah, night before Free Comic Book Day. We have kind of in the past, we had kind of a loose policy about dogs, people bringing their dogs into the store. Never had a problem, so people brought their dogs, no big deal. The night before Free Comic Day, this woman who is a customer of ours, a great, awesome lady, she brought in a wolf. I kid you not, this was no dog. This thing was bigger than me. I could ride it like a pony. It was a wolf. And this wolf, very well behaved, beautiful, beautiful animal, proceeded to sit on the other side of the cashier while we're talking. We're having a nice conversation, la 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 la, do 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 do. And then they leave. And we're like, do you smell something? And we look, and there's a gigantic, we had carpet then, gigantic puddle of very stinky urine, wolf urine, right on the other side of our cash register, which is the most trafficked area in the store,
where everybody's going to be on Free Comic Book Day
the next day. I don't even remember what we did. We couldn't clean it up. Like, it was just there until we ripped out the carpet. But at least we got like the smell and like the topical part of it out.
Yeah, we managed it, I think.
I think we just pushed it into the carpet more.
Well, we sort of cleaned as best we could, and then we put like something down over it.
I think we put a mat over it.
Big stain.
That's right. That sounds right.
Yeah, and it was the day before Free Comic Day, so we were kind of.
That wasn't great.
That was the challenge.
And then, you know, we actually, I shouldn't say this part. We actually kind of called her out on it afterwards. And so she never came back to the store again.
Yeah.
Thus, now you know why we don't allow dogs in the store anymore.
No more dogs.
No more
it's
dogs.
A cat store.
Yeah.
You can bring your cat, but not your dog. Yeah, that was rough. Like she says, because it's a lot of prep that goes into this, and we want everything to be perfect. But it still all worked out that day. The next day.
I think only half a dozen people noticed the smell.
Yeah. Boy, like I say, all my things are kind of a little more general. I always like seeing the kids. I always like seeing. There's always folks I haven't seen, like subscribers who have moved away. You know, every year I see somebody that I haven't seen for a long time, and that's always fun.
I like seeing our subscribers' families.
Yeah, meeting families and meeting their friends and their kids and stuff is always fun. Like I say, it's kind of a big family day. To be really honest, part of why for many years I was the guy who worked the cash register. And so my thing, I actually remember very little of the day itself because I give the staff and the volunteers their instructions, and then I'm behind the counter going beep, 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 beep on those 75% off back issues all day. So once the door opens on Free Comic Book Day, I'm just ringing up back issues all day, and I don't have too much experience with being out among the masses, except for right in the beginning of the day and toward the end of the day. But that being said, a lot of my funny times. Again, we've had a lot of great volunteers over the years. We've had a lot of great staff people here over the years. And so just the sort of mad chaos of the day is its own fun. Trying to get out just to eat a sandwich. I mean, you know, when you run a business, there's nothing better than seeing a giant store full of happy people.
Yeah.
And so even though it's a lot of work and it's really stressful, it's a great time all day because, like I say, I'm ringing up back issues all day. And so I know people are picking up all kinds of great stuff on the cheap, and they're going to get to read a lot of great comics. And so it may not see, if you've been here in those early years and you saw me behind the counter, I probably looked super stressed out and probably looked like I wasn't having any fun at all. But every time I look, I was having fun ringing up books. And every time I looked up and saw a store full of happy people, that was really awesome too.
I always have the best job Free Comic Day. And it's probably because I'm the boss. I can give myself the best job. My job is to sit on the Free Comic Day table and give away the comics. That's my favorite thing to do. I love, so the little kids that come in, especially the ones in costume, and they pick up like one comic and they're real timid, like they're going to get yelled at because they don't realize, is this really free? I'm like, well, you can get like 3 or 4 more, or you can get 5 more. They're like, oh, I can have more, really? And I had one kid last year when he was so excited that he got all these comics. He whispered to his mom something. And then his mom said he'd like to give you a hug. Oh, I just melted right there. It was so great. He was so happy and so appreciative. And that just made my day. It's like, okay, worth it. We can close up now. I'm done.
Yeah, the little kids are the best.
They're the best.
And, you know, I like the whole concept too. Again, I'm always trying to get folks to try something new, try something different. And again, I like seeing all the different stuff. And giving out like a big old handful of comics to somebody, not just the Marvel one or just the DC one, but again, knowing they're going to have get to read all kinds of different stuff. They're going to be exposed to all the different aspects of comics. That's a lot of fun.
Should we start giving out some stuff?
Sure. Let's start giving out some stuff. So who's got a fun and interesting comic book day story? Anybody been here on Free Comic Day and have something awesome? Does anybody have their Free Comic Book Day stuff?
Oh.
If you can show me a Free Comic Day comic, something that has the Free Comic Day logo on it. If you can show me a comic and post a picture or something in the comments of a comic that has the Free Comic Book Day logo.
And don't just take something off Google. You got to take a picture.
It's got to be a comic book. You got to be
old.
Show me a comic book.
What do they get?
What do they get? This is Iron Man #1 with art by Jim Lee.
Rad.
This was part of the Heroes Reborn thing.
The Leaster.
That was really huge at the time. Folks don't necessarily remember. They think, Jim Lee is the Batman or the X-Men guy. They don't know that he also did Iron Man and Fantastic Four. And this is the first issue, and it's really awesome. So
you're giving that away for free?
I am giving this away for free to the person that can show me a picture of a Free Comic Day comic. We've been giving them away for 18 years, packs and packs of them. So if you're any kind of Black Cat customer, you certainly have a Free Comic Book Day to show me a comic. And here's another one. If you've got something, like I say, if you were here one year, if you have a story about Black Cat Comics Free Comic Book Day, I know Michael does. Let's see what else I got back here.
You can also call in a story.
Yes.
At 408-942-6903. You've got a story you want to share.
This Batman comic has a story by Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman.
So if you love Batman, if you love Neil Gaiman, tell us a Free Comic Book Day story, and you'll get a free comic because it's Free Comic Day. Fun stuff.
I've got one.
Okay.
So has anyone been to all 18 with us Free Comic Days? There's technically been 19 officially, but we weren't a store then. So we've had 18. If anyone's had 18, I've got DCU pins I can give away to you.
And you should mention that pack is particularly special because it came from Emerald City Comic Con.
No,
right?
it did not.
Came from Chicago, sorry.
Chicago.
The only convention that happened this year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a
That's where we
collector's
got
item.
the plague.
That's where we got the
Don't
plague.
worry, it's been sanitized.
But yes, that we got that at C2E2, and like I say, that's probably the only major convention for 2020. So that's kind of a collector's item.
Yes. So anyone been to 18 free comic book days?
I know.
15, 14.
I know
put
one
the
guy who
down.
has.
Who's got the highest number? We'll get this guy. Who's got
I
the
know
highest
at
number?
least one guy who has, or at least he's been to enough of them that I would give him close enough honorable mention. And I think he knows who he is too. I think he knows who he is too. That was your clue. Let us know if you're watching.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, but I think he does. The only person I can think of besides me and you that's been here for every single free comic book day ever
is watching right now.
I think so. And I think he knows he's been to every free comic book day, but maybe he's not. Maybe he didn't tune in this week. Anywho, like I say, send us a picture of a free comic day book. Tell us a free comic book day story. Win some free stuff because this is some cool, fun stuff to win. And
we got to give a shout out to Anthony, who's been our rock star on Free Comic Book Day every year for the past 3 to 4 to 5 years. I don't know.
I don't either.
Probably
five now, but he's the only guy I trust to do my job on Free Comic Book Day. He's the guy that kicked me off of the register so that good. I could do other stuff and begin enjoying Free Comic Day. Yeah. And so that's fun, which I should note,
it's
again,
hard. It's a hard job.
It's merciless.
We have multiple discounts. There's lots of long lines, various different merchandise he's got to ring up. Some things with barcodes, some things he's got to hand type in. So it's probably the hardest job that we have on Free Comic Book Day, and he's done it flawlessly year after year.
Yeah, and people
shout out to Anthony on that.
Yep, he's a star, and we miss having him around. And yeah, like I say, I've got. We could give that shot. I remember one of the best and worst ideas I ever had. Was to do the express line. We thought, okay, we'll have like a 5 items or less, so it doesn't bog down the line. We'd have the line of people with long boxes of back issues, and I was taking all day. And I felt bad for the person who only had 1 or 2 things, and they're waiting behind this person with all the stuff. So I thought this year we'll do an express line, and if you have 5 items or less, you can go in this in cash only. You can go in this other line, and it'll be super fast. But of course, somebody always has to game the system. And so my express line got immediately bogged down with like 50 items, and the whole thing crashed and collapsed.
Crashed and burned.
That was, like I say, the best idea with the worst execution we ever had. The other time was we tried to do a raffle, but the line was too long. So like people were leaving and things. And
yeah, we had like assigned register times, but it didn't work out very well. We try to make it smooth and streamlined and efficient every year, but
we do our best to fix things and improve. What you got there?
So I've got some more stuff from the printer. So a couple years ago, more than that, one of our guys, Marco, who's still an amazing customer, and he's an artist at Great America, among other things. So he came and did airbrush art on people for free. So he'd do like little Batman tattoos, little Deadpool things. So he would do that on Free Comic Book Day for free. That was amazingly
kids
awesome.
Love that kind of stuff. And again, we love bringing in local artists and other fun things to do besides get comics.
Yep. Trying to think. I've got some other things in here too. Packs. You want to talk about packs? How we used to do the packs?
So we would put the packs together. It was always my intention to give not just as many comics as possible, but as much exposure as possible. If left to our own devices, if left to my own devices, I'll just grab the Marvel and DC stuff.
Bags of stuff.
I'll grab the popular stuff that I want to read, and that would be that. And then we're all kind of like that. But I thought, if I give everybody the Oni book, everybody the slave labor book, if I give everybody all the books, then they'll get turned on to new stuff and they'll check out some other things. And so we put together packs of like, in fact, one year I did 2 packs for all the subscribers. We did the mainstream pack and then we did the indie pack, and all the regular people got the mainstream pack, which still had like 12 comics in it. And then the subscribers also got a second pack that had another like 10 books in it. So everybody got a ton of books that year.
And we've done like kids packs and adult
and
packs
all
too.
ages packs, mature reader packs as well. To be honest, I don't know that it ever worked out quite like I wanted it to. I never really had people come back to me and say, hey, put that Oni book on my list. Hey, I subscribe to Simpsons comics.
That is you, Marco.
Whoa, that's me. Yes, it is, Marco. That is you.
Shout out to Marco.
You're on the internet. And so I didn't get the impression that the folks were really reading all of those other books. And so I thought, well, then maybe we're spending a lot of time and money, and the folks aren't enjoying that anyway. So now we just kind of put them all out there and let you guys pick the ones you want, so that you'll read the books that you get and all that kind of thing.
And nobody seemed to miss them.
I really liked putting the packs together, again, because I'm always in this to get people to read more stuff. But at the end of the day, I want you to have what you want, not just a bunch of stuff that I give you.
So I've got a picture of our awesome team from last year, all of our volunteers. There's Anthony at the register.
Very cool. Team Black Cat.
We love our team.
Thank you, everybody.
We miss you guys. We'll be calling you as soon as we get the new dates.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we've got this cool Deathstroke guy. He was awesome.
He was awesome.
He was pretty awesome.
I think he's been to our Halloween thing too.
Yeah. There's some awesome cosplay that showed up on Free Comic Book Day.
Yep. Oh, that
Oh,
day.
yes. Yeah. So last year, we had some special guests.
Yes.
The 501st came. I don't know how I'm going to do this because it's not together, but
they get the idea.
You get the idea.
It was Star Wars Free Comic Book Day, and that was awesome.
There's David Craig and his awesome family.
Anytime I find myself in the presence of an official Darth Vader, it makes me the same as one of these kids. I'm totally just like 8 years old. Anytime Vader shows up, I'm that kid that played with his Star Wars action figures. Even my 100-year-old self has a great time when the Star Wars guys show up. And again, it means a lot to the kids and the families, and it makes it a whole thing.
It was so much fun. Those guys were amazing. And the nicest one of all was the Emperor. He was just like so sweet and so appreciative and like.
And it makes you just a little uncomfortable when the Emperor is like nice and polite, and you're like, I think I'm gonna get Force lightninged. Oh.
Again, you have to be Zatanna to read this. May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Up on Monday.
It's
May the
coming
4th
up
be with you.
Oh, so really quick, we should mention, because we are a store that sells stuff. In all this talk of Free Comic Book Day, we wanted to do a Free Comic Book Day sale on the site. And so if you go to black-cat-comics.com, click on shop, and go nuts. We've been working really hard to get some of our best, to get all of our best stuff up there. Like to think there's a little something for everybody. Tell them about
the sale.
Yes.
So if you type in FCBD20 for Free Comic Book Day, FCBD20, you get 20% off your entire order today only. If your order is over $25, you get free shipping. If your order is over $50, you get a free mystery pop that we mail to you as well.
Free mystery pop, and everybody loves free pops. And you know what?
Free pop.
I'll say we only get the cool ones, so it's not like you're going to get some stupid one. We only get Marvel, DC, Star Wars pops. And so
Nightmare Before
Christmas. So when we say you're going to get a cool random mystery pop, it's not like you're going to get some dumb thing you never heard of.
Video game thing that nobody plays.
It's like one of the cereal guys. Though I would love the cereal guy, but that's not my point. Point is, they're all awesome.
They're all awesome.
So if you're watching on your TV, or if you can make this bigger or whatever somehow, all the stuff you see behind us is on the site, and that's all awesome. All these trades behind us are great jump-in points. This is all Star Wars stuff for Star Wars Day. So take advantage of that code FCBD20. Get the 20% off. Get the free shipping. Get $50 or more and get that free pop because it's free comic day. So it really is a great deal. There's a lot of great stuff on the site. And so, like I say, I don't know that we'd mentioned that part, but we wanted to have a big sale today. So since it's free comic day,
do something.
You got to do something, right? It's the first Saturday of May. So like I say, go to the site, pick up something cool. It's real easy to hit that number for free shipping and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then I guess that might take us to Star Wars Day.
Questions, stories about Free Comic Book Day before we move on? Anything else?
We are approaching the tail end of the show, and there's a couple other things. So yeah, once again, post a picture of you with a Free Comic Day comic. Everybody's got a Free Comic Day comic. Put a Free Comic Day story in the comments section. And we'll have something cool and fun for you next time we see you.
My guess is we won't like ship stuff, but once we're open again, we'll put your name on it, and you can come and grab whatever the prize is.
For sure. I'm just dying to show some of these comics because
I
can't.
He can't help himself.
I can't do a show without showing 100 comics.
Here he goes.
And I'm just gonna reach into this box. Pull a bunch of random comics out. They're not in any order. They're not in anything at all. This is an example of the pack I was talking about. We give out big old packs of fun stuff, 2 Marvels, 2 DCs, all kinds of things.
Usually like 5 to 7 books in a pack.
And they do Marvel All Ages books as well as not the all ages stuff. Valiant books. So if you don't know what Valiant is, Hello Kitty. If you don't know, you got kids that love Hello Kitty. See, there you go. Transformers, G.I. Joe. But like I said, this is just a total random stack of stuff from over the years. Sonic the Hedgehog, New 52. This was a great time for comics, man. How about some Rocket Raccoon? How about some Hatter M? Which I don't even know what that is, but just to show you that there's cool stuff that you might get that and be like, what?
They sent us a sign thing.
Let's see. Some Uncle Scrooge or some Star Wars.
You can't skip over Batman. CJ's watching.
Batman Strikes. 2 kinds of Batman, all ages and not all ages. I love me some Betty and Veronica, some G.I. Joe. Back when there was a thing called Wizard Magazine, they would do things like the top 100. In fact, I'm glad I pulled this up because Free Comic Book Day is also very informational to old schoolers and new schoolers in the whole bit. They do things from the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. They do things from Overstreet Price Guide. So then it's... No, Overstreet still does the thing.
Wizard.
And no, Wizard is not around anymore, sadly. So we don't get these cool top 10 and top 100 lists like we used to. But like I say, they do an Overstreet book that talks about collecting. They do like history of comic stuff, and of course they give us DC and Disney and Archie and my favorite Bongo. I miss you, Bongo. I love Simpsons comics. Somebody needs to pick up Simpsons comics and bring them back.
Michael, the cafe across the street is surviving. They're doing takeout only right now. So hopefully they'll make it through.
More Bongo. Here's one of the Overstreet ones.
Jake.
Talks about comic collecting. Or they go old school and show you some super, super classic Magnus Robot Fighter. On and on I could go. Like I say, I got this big old box, and it's just so much fun because years later you go back and you're like, oh, I remember.
What are you going to do with that big old box?
Make videos and show people stuff. Well, it used to be a kind of time capsule. I used to like to have one of our packs from every year in the event. That's kind of what started it, was I wanted a sample of each pack we had given away.
Yeah.
But then I'm a comic book guy, so it slowly deteriorated into just giant box of comics. But see, there you go. Now you have a Hello Kitty comic that you wouldn't have had if I hadn't busted the box.
I probably have like 4 of these.
You probably do. But it's still fun. And so, on Free Comic Day, I would have been encouraging you to get around to every store that you can, to pick up as many different books as you can, take advantage of as many different sales as you can.
Yes.
Because again,
everyone does it different.
Everyone does it different, and for you, the fan, there's just not a better day in comics to get great reading, of a huge, endless array of great reading on the cheap.
We've also tried to get different artists and writers here over the years, but you guys who've been here, you know how crazy it is already. We just couldn't logistically figure out how to do another facet with, you know, another line, another table, it's too much to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, and also we kind of like to keep the emphasis on comics and on a local kind of thing. So we get like local artists and things, but like I say, mostly we like to keep it about the comics.
Yeah, that's right. We should talk about the Free Comic Book Day when it was next door. That was terrible.
Oh, yeah. So we bought this building and we were in the process of moving from the old store to the new store. So we were in our temporary location before we came into this side.
We had a lot of construction to do here before we could move in. So we had to move next door, which is my other practice, which is tiny, narrow. It's probably, if you guys have been in the store, it's about a third the size of our current store. So it was little.
It was very little. It was still a great year that year, though.
Yeah.
I remember we lined the floor with trades and different things, and you know, you make it work.
Put the artist on the roof. That's good, Jake.
Because like everything we do, we just do our best to make it as fun as possible, make it as smooth as possible.
So,
and somehow, some way, it always works out.
The construction was supposed to last 3 months, and if you know you've been through construction, it usually takes then 5 times longer. So we were supposed to be done and be able to move in to the new location before Free Comic Book Day. But as the weeks and months progressed and the permits in Milpitas weren't going anywhere, we knew that date was going to get missed. And so we panicked because how are we going to squeeze 1,000 people into my tiny office next door and still make it fun and still make it accessible and still, like, you know, make it work, as Tim Gunn would say. And so we kind of figured out the logistics. We got everything going. And then the night before it started, no. The day before it flooded. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Blacked it out, just like the dog pee story.
I'm just going to keep sharing comics while you talk.
The day before, as they were doing construction, it started to rain and they hadn't properly covered it. So the back room where we were going to have all the free books completely flooded.
Oh, and so I had blocked that out.
We had to air dry it and wipe it clean and pull everything out and clean it and put everything back. And we're like, okay, we're good. We're finally going to be able to do this. And then the next morning, it totally rained and stormed again. So we had tents that we had to set up, and it was just, that was really hard.
Always really something new, fun, and exciting. Always something.
Life and times of being a small business owner.
You gotta, and you know, but all of those things have somewhat prepared us for these crazy times. You know, when you run a small business, you got to think on it. You got to think fast. You got to move. You got to shake. You got to roll with the times. You got to be resourceful. And that's what we've done for 18 free comic book days and for almost 18 years.
That's right.
Because, our anniversary is coming up too. So, that's Free Comic Book Day. We love Free Comic Day. We miss you guys. We miss that giant line of people. We miss all the crazy chaos. But we look forward to whenever they set the new date. Again, keep up with the newsletter. Keep up with all the Black Cat media. And we'll keep you posted on the next Free Comic Book Day. Want to mention Star Wars Day, though.
Yes.
May the 4th is Star Wars Day.
Monday.
May the 4th be with you, because they're clever that way. You know, I love me some Star Wars. Sometimes those days overlap, and I always give precedent to Free Comic Book Day because we're a comic book store. This year, of course, we're online only, so we can kind of break it up and have 2 special days without having much conflict. So take advantage of that FCBD 20. Get your free shipping, get your 20% off, get your free pop. But get ready for Star Wars Day, because I have been working really hard to get all of our Star Wars trades and a ton of our Star Wars comics up there, so you can celebrate May 4th in style. I myself am going to do my best to get through as many of the movies as I can, and in between the movies, I'll be reading some Star Wars comics and maybe playing with my Star Wars action figures. It's Star Wars Day. Do we have...
we have a code.
There you go.
So, if you do May... the number 4 TH, all in caps. So May 4th, on Monday, you get 20% off anything Star Wars related on the site. And again, same Free shipping on all orders over $25.
And we got all kinds of stuff. We got comics and trades and toys
and
pops and all kinds of stuff. But I really encourage you, really encourage you to pick up the trade paperbacks for the first Star Wars series. The second one just started, and those Dr. Aphra trades. Dr. Aphra is really good. And if you don't know about it, that's a great book to pick up on the cheap.
We should also talk about pre-Comic-Con, post-Comic-Con, or now this year just Comic-Con.
Rockin Milpitas, Comic-Con.
Right. So every year we do this week-long event that precedes or succeeds San Diego Comic-Con. So since San Diego isn't happening this year, it's just going to be Comic-Con.
Yep, the Black Cat Comics, Rockin Milpitas,
so
Comic-Con.
What we try to do is bring a little bit of the con here to folks who can't get to San Diego, which is impossible to get tickets these days. So we do a Wednesday to Sunday, and every day we have a different series of events. We've got preview nights for our subscribers. We've got movie nights. Sometimes we'll do a gaming night, or we'll do a cosplay night. We have different sales. That's when we bring in artists and writers and things. And the biggest part of that whole week is the customer swap meet on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so stay tuned for that.
You heard it here first.
We're not
customer swap meet.
Get your stuff ready, folks.
Everybody loves the swap meet.
Ready.
Everybody loves movie night.
Well, it would be ideal if Free Comic Book Day would wrap around that. But I don't know if we can have crowds that soon. It's usually around July, middle of July. So stay tuned with our newsletters. Stay tuned on Facebook. We'll let you guys know as soon as that gets released. But hopefully we can merge the two.
Hopefully. And since there are no conventions, since there is no toy show right now, since all of that is TBD, we really want to get an event going this summer. If it's safe and legal
Only
and legit
safe
and all that kind of
with
thing.
your mask and gloves,
if we are free and able to do so, we're going to really put together a kick butt program, a kick butt show this year because we're all a little pent up. And so we need a big, fun, cool comic book event. So again, keep up with all the Black Cat media, and we'll share info on Comics New Release Day, on the new Free Comic Book Day, on Black Cat Comics, Rockin Milpitas, Comic-Con.
So many things up there.
Like I say, we're doing our best to bring you guys everything, keep everything as normal as possible in these crazy times.
And give you something to look forward to.
Give you something to look forward to. Remind you that life still goes on. There's still fun to be had. That your superheroes are still out there waiting to save the day.
There's still Hello Kitties out there to read.
There's still Hello Kitty. There's still My Little Pony. There is still Captain America and Thor. You know, I read anything that has Captain America and Thor on it. Great stuff. So tons of fun. I'll throw out there one more time all the things that we've been talking about. Catch up on your current books. Read the stuff that's been stacking up on you. Go back into your favorite stuff into your stash. Give those all-time greats a reread because you hung on to them. You're hoarding them for a reason. Third is organize. Bag and board, box. Label those boxes. Get your stuff Alphacron. Get your stuff.
Supplies online.
Yes, we do. Get your stuff where you know where it is and then where you can read it and all that kind of thing, because that's super fun. When you've done all of those things, go to black-cat-comics.com and pick up something new, fun, and exciting, because there's always something new, fun, and exciting to be had in the world of comics.
And hey, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you out there who have been so generous and supportive of us during this difficult time. We're doing great. Don't you worry. We'll be here whenever we're allowed to open. We're not going anywhere. But those of you who've been placing weekly orders and calling us and having a special order stuff for you, like big thank you.
And the emails and really the voicemails and the things we get just, rooting for us and whatever. We really appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
All of these things mean a lot, particularly now at these crazy times. So yes, thank you so much. And you can find us here online every Wednesday and every Sunday. Every Wednesday we do Saturday. Every Wednesday. Saturday. I'm talking about the cat medicine. That's the cat medicine. You don't need to know that. Wednesday and Saturday. So Wednesday is new to you comic day, new comic day. And so tune in
Priceless.
Wednesday, and I'll be showing you all kinds of stuff for you or the new comic fan in your life. Tune in every Saturday at 2 o'clock, YouTube and Facebook, because we do this. We hang out, we talk comics, and we keep you connected to your comic book community, because that's our goal in life. So thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for keeping up with us. Thanks for loving comics. And like I say, keep reading those comics. We look forward to seeing you here in the shop sometime soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.